What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for episode 2 of our NCAA Football 14 College Football Revamped Create a Team Dynasty with the Hollywood Tech Honey Hunters, a team made up of mostly walk-ons, but with some great elite athletes sprinkled across both offense and defense. With the caveat that they've never played a down of football before, we left off after meeting the team, after understanding the history of Hollywood Tech, in our first episode with a close loss in our first ever collegiate game against Army, 35-28. And if you are a team who the only thing you got going for you is your athletes, getting the role of your first ever game being against like a military school, that is a great opportunity because military schools usually don't have the big time athletes. They are teams that are made up with like gimmicky, triple option, really awkward offenses. That is where they find their success. And unfortunately, that's kind of how this game played out, looking at how Army moved the football, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns from their quarterback. And then their fullbacks and running backs kind of went off, and it exposed our lack of knowledge. But don't get it twisted. For a first ever, for everybody, football game, we looked somewhat confident. Massive shout out to our coach, Tom Savage, for getting the guys to play. But Podolski looks like there could be something here, especially for these upcoming stretch of games that we're going to play in today's episode. I believe we have 2 games against FCS opponents. Those are like make-right games. Those are games to kind of learn on the fly for this roster. We have Crease McCool with a track and field background. He went over 100 yards, a lot of speed. Can't teach that. Jaquiz Shack, a 7-foot-tall basketball player, now playing tight end, had 90 yards on 4 catches. And if he made a catch, we're going to the 7-footer Shack, and he drops it! Late in the game against Army, that was a brutal drop. And drops are going to happen because these guys are just kind of, again, learning on the fly, learning football. We might have been able to force overtime. We might have been able to get that win. Defense, also a little worried, was unable to get any sacks, was unable to really shut down the Army rushing offense. But all in all, for a debut game, you can't ask for a much better fight that we saw from. We'll have our Week 3 game here against FCS, Week 4 Utah State, Week 5 FCS. So we're looking at, really, you want to at minimum split those FCS games. I want to get a win. As you all know, our recruits can't be higher than a 3-star. They have to also be classified as an athlete. However, I consulted with my recruiting staff in the comments on the first video, and I said, how often do you find an athlete that can play offensive line? Because we have Daniel Newman here at 6'6", 299. You can find athletes that have the athletic profile of an offensive line, but as soon as I realized in the scouting that there is nothing there that shows offensive line grades, it made me worried a little bit, because offensive line is one of the biggest spots. I would say offensive line and corner are the 2 biggest positions that Hollywood Tech is currently lacking. And based off of feedback from my recruiting staff, I was told it is very rare to get even one athlete that will be able to move into the offensive line position, let alone athletes that are 3-star and below. So Hollywood Tech's entire recruiting plan is around recruiting athletes only. However, the harsh reality is not every position that we need to field a team is going to come from the athlete pool. There are going to be positions. Punter, whenever we need a punter. Kicker, whenever we need a kicker. And from your guys' feedback, offensive line, they just don't generate the athletes from the athlete-specific position. So we're going to have to go into each one of these with, I think, another set of house rules to determine whether or not a player is an athlete. And I think for kicker, punter, center, guard, and tackle, I think the easiest way to set the parameters, outside of the fact this year they have to be 3-star or below, is we sort by 40-yard dash, and if they are within the top 10 players of their respected 40-yard dash, of their respected position, they are up for grabs for Hollywood Tech. I think that's the easiest way to determine whether or not a player is an athlete. Also, when you're doing this, you're getting the offensive lineman that, like, are they for sure linemen? Like, look at this guy, Dwayne Heath, 6'5", 275. That is very undersized for an offensive tackle. So I think this is a great middle ground, but again, I'm going to go back to you guys out there right now, my recruiting staff. Does this just seem like the easiest, most broad, less complicated way to determine these positions here, whether they're athletes or not? I think the 40-yard dash is just the easiest way to do it. Top 10 players, that could get expanded. That's just kind of something I threw in there. I think sorting by 40-yard dash makes the most sense. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. So even though we're a little late to the game, let's see what we have here as we scout our offensive line. Honestly, even though we're going to scout 100% here, it's probably not going to matter. They're going to be better players. Holy Fred Smith. Holy Fred Smith. You are going to get max. 100%. And this is about the jump-off point where we got Dwayne Heath there, but we are... Is that too big of a gap? See, I've been out of NCAA too long to, like, get the nuances of recruiting, kind of knowing the unwritten, like, that's an unsavable player. I'm not going to get him. Versus, I feel like if it's under 1,000, I definitely have a shot. But I'm also, like, top 5 there for Andy Stevens. It's just, you know what? This is what adds the difficulty. Because of our indecisiveness on how to properly decide how we should handle our recruiting, we're going to be on the outside looking in for some of these players. I think we get rid of Heath. I think jumping up from 10, there's just too many teams. It's too much of a logjam. Stevens looks like a bust. So I don't really want points there. And we don't need linemen. Like, when you look at our needs going into next year, like, I think we're going to be fine for guard, tackle, and center. This is just more so trying to chase some upgrades at those respective positions. So I think the fact that we got a little diamond here in Fred Smith, that would be huge. I think it's probably going to be worth here investing a little bit in Evans because he's going to be about a 70 overall, which walks in. That's laughing as our top starter on the offensive line. So we'll spend our remaining points here on Evans. We'll just see how difficult it truly is to get, kind of close that gap off of 1,000 points. But Fred Smith, 77. That guy's going to be a stud. So we're on to week 3, our second game of the season against FCS West. Lee Corso is projected to take the good guys here in a victory. We have 2 FCS opponents over the next 3 weeks. There's no other way to put it. We need to get at least 1, if not 2 wins against these FCS teams because I don't know, looking at the rest of our schedule, where else those wins are going to come outside of just an epic type victory from the Honey Hunters. That gives us great confidence, the fact that the FCS teams are still 20 points better than us across the board, yet this is a must-win for the Honey Hunters. Here we go. It is our first home game. Not a lot of people in the stands. It's fine. You start from the bottom. You work your way up. Those stands will be packed. We'll look back at this moment and be, look at where we are. Who'd have thought? Oh, no. Ricky Tarr saves what could be a touchdown, but when FC West is throwing on you like that. Look at that ball, man. That's a duck.
Mine.
Oh, right out. Let's go. First pick in school history. Cordarius Rideout. Ran the route for him. Capitalize off of that. Well, we feed Crease McCool. We hope Bob Podolsky every single week becomes a little bit better of a quarterback. And Tito Williams, the 99 speed. Track and field star. Had 1 catch for 34 yards last week. I feel like he is going to be our mismatch weapon when it comes against these FCS schools. There's no chance they have anybody that can handle 99 speed. As long as he can get off the line of scrimmage, this is going to be our #1 play in our playbook. And I don't know why we're learning about our backup quarterback, Gabe Passmore, who did catch a touchdown last week against Army. Can we celebrate the fact we just hit a 56-yard touchdown? No replay? Cool. Oh, there we go. Big sack. Is that B.D. Wells? B.D. Wells opens up his account. He's a powerlifting record holder in the state of Virginia. Nothing there, man. We are taking the most of this opportunity against an FCS school. It's just so much self-control I need to have not to always try to take the shot play to our speedster. And we take a nice little throw there. Honestly, not the best throw because the route didn't even develop, but Julius Retch makes the grab. Drive continues. Increase some cool at the backfield. Could be. Oh, Papa! Oh, it's another drop! How do we have 2 weeks 2 weeks of being a football team. And we have 2 of the most back-breaking drops you'll ever see in back-to-back weeks. Tito Williams. It's raining, I guess. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, getting after it, man. Talon Wilkinson comes up with a sack. Our defensive line is certainly one of the strengths of this team. 2 sacks and counting here in the first quarter. That might have been a little bit of a coverage sack. Bring a little pressure here. I think they're going to try to run this. Did, and we shot the wrong gap.
Let's go! Flag 68!
Oh, wow. Wide open. Matt Ostrander. It's like one of those things, man. I hope in the new college football game, like games like this against FCS, like I write these names down and like I'm going to go get these guys in the portal. Let's play good defense here. Bend, don't break. Continue to find ways with these blitzes to get pressure on the quarterback and see if we can get them to settle for a field goal. Let's keep bringing Teddy Frazier up the middle. Oh, they go for the run. Oh, we also get a guy there, and he just bounces off the tackle. And we get a tie ball game. Coach Tom Savage wishes he is Tom Savage. I am certainly not. Look at this. There we go. Great blocking. Let's utilize that 94 speed. Crease McCool. Cross midfield. This might be a Julius Rich throw. Here we go to the tight end, Jaquizshak. Our first time targeted him after the back-breaking drop late against Army. Crease McCool breaks through the tackle, and he is in for his 2nd touchdown of the season. Fantastic contact balance on that one. Spit move into the end zone. Honey Hunters lead. Oh, there we go. A meeting at the quarterback. And that one goes to the little linebacker, Teddy Frazier. I believe him and Fuck Your Couch both got there. Go for the fake. No! Oh, the balls of FCS West. Oh, big hit. Corner blitz. Oh, my God. Talon Wilkinson off the edge. 2nd sack of the game. We'll call a timeout. Let's make sure they're actually punting this. Probably, I'm surprised that it's not in their field goal range. Go big time. We want to be aggressive. Let's go jams. Tough catch. Make sure it's to the end zone so we can still have a chance at points here. Right bumper. Oh, it's thrown up. It is uncaught jams. 28-yard touchdown. The aggressiveness pays off. 2nd passing tud of the day for Podolski. And Tom Savage's offense is thriving and feasting against FCS West. Oh, that could be pay dirt. Could be, should be, will be. 20 yards to the house. Crease McCool, who ties a record through 2 games of ever existing. Out the field here, FCS has come into our territory, our side of the 50. We make sure this is as far as it goes as they try to run a screen pass that is blocked up very well. Wow, wide open. See, a little bit of play design. Our lack of awareness, our lack of play recognition shows up on tape time and time again. Ooh, get that block 4. You'd like to see a player with the profile, McCool. That be a house call. But maybe there's some speed there on FCS West. Oh, what a grab! That was not accurate at all. That was at his foot. Julius Rich makes the adjustment. And with that, Bob Podolski breaks his own 1-week record. Oh, Crease McCool looking for the hat trick on the day. It is blocked up very well. And the 78 people in attendance throw their hats on the field. My brain, I always skip kicks, and we just gave up a 100-yard kick return. And it already messed us up last week, so it's just muscle memory. We're going to stop skipping kicks. Run it up. Run the score up. Run the goddamn score up. 100-yard kickoff return. Get that shit out of here. Close it out for the first victory in school history. Honey Hunters 42. FCS. Who cares? And what a performance from Crease McCool. 177 yards on the ground. 4 tuds. Sure. Against inferior competition, who's only 20 overall points better than us. An outstanding effort. Bob Podolsky, clean game. Tom Savage. He's just like an instrument right now of Tom Savage out there. You might as well have Tom Savage under center. That is how well Bob Podolsky's playing. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Crease McCool, we just got better athletes. These FCS schools are not going to be able to keep up with the speed that we can bring. Tito Williams had a big shot play. Jams and Passmore both had nice plays. And on the defensive side, the sacks are finally coming. 2 TFLs, 2 sacks for Wilkinson. B.D. Wells with a sack. Arnett, King, and Frazier to go along with the first pick in school history. Let's build off of this. We called it NCAA Player of the Week. They kind of threw out the quality of opponent because we were the underdogs. And Crease McCool is your Week 3 Offensive Player of the Week. The freshman with almost 200 yards from scrimmage. 4 touchdowns. Thank God the transfer portal doesn't exist. He'd be gone at the end of the year. Got another upgrade for Tom Savage. I'm going to pump it into the opener, so we now have 1,000 points extra to work with on a week-to-week basis, especially to try to gain some ground on those offensive lineman recruits. Our third game of the season, week 4 against Utah State, and we're getting roasted off the rip. Empty stands. Yes, we're working on it. Corso takes Utah State, obviously a more established program. However, doing a little deep dive into Utah State, they lost to FCS West, the team we just dominated. Maybe we got a shot. But easily out of our 3 games to open the season, Utah State is firmly the strongest we've gone up against. Oh, wow. Complete terrible angle by Rideout. Got the first and only interception in school history. Tackling needs some work. The middle of our defense is getting exposed. Untouched. Calvin Tyler, untouched. Touchdown. The pressure's getting to him a little bit. 3rd and 12. Opening drive. We got Tito Williams at the top. 99 speed. It's going to be a long game. They start the drive 17 yards. Calvin Tyler, who got their touchdown on the last drive. Chance here on 3rd and long to get off the field. A false start penalty gives us 3rd and 15. Now let's go in the interior with B.D. Wells. They throw the double team. We cloud the line. And that is out of bounds. And a stand from the Honey Hunters defense. Crease McCool to the 2nd level. Undeniable speed. Oh, what a grab! Tito Williams! What a throw by Bob Podolsky. Off script. Free runners. 2 free runners right in the face of our quarterback. Throws on the run, a wobbler. But with that 97 arm talent right there and by way of throw power on display. Great play. Gonna need another great play call here. 3rd and long. Don't want to see the drive stall out. We have Passmore, who is our Taysom Hill quarterback. Offensive weapon is out there. And there's just not enough time. Line can't hold up for those routes to develop. The drive stalls. Oh, too bad. Doesn't matter. Catch him. Catch him! Oh. Our run defense, our ugly run defense. That was on full display against Army in the first game of the year. Is creeping its ugly head back up again. There we go, Jams. That's a great grab. He's been sleepy for us. He's been sleepy. In terms of, you think of Tito Williams 99 speed, got Shaq 7-footer. But Jams, he's becoming one of our more reliable targets. A little cool at the backfield. So fast. It's all about finding Jaquiz Shaq when we can. He's going to be in the end zone, but it looks like the star Utah State linebacker is going to be on him. I don't think there's anything there. I might have to run that back when I'm editing, but I don't think there was anybody open. 4th and goal. Do we take the points? I think we go for it. I think that's our nature. I think that's the Tom Savage nature. 4th and goal. We're not going to get down here a whole lot, given how this game's gone. Let's see if we can find a way to get this ball to our 7. And they get 15. Okay. All right. Haven't given up much big, but they have been able to methodically work their way downfield a little bit here, Utah State. But luckily, we confused them there on what might be one of the ugliest plays you'll ever see. To bring up 3rd and long. Talon Wilkinson tried his best, hit a little mini Dwight Freeney spin move. Only got the leg for this. All right, good field position. 40 seconds to do some damage. There we go, Joe Vicious. Hell yeah. Ultimate Frisbee background. He goes up and gets it. Going on Jams. Quick first down. Keep moving. We have 1 timeout remaining. Kind of want to use that just in case there's a little bit of a panic. Wish Shaq was out there. Can Bob Podolski do it himself? Oh, yeah, baby. Big Bob! Let's go! 9-yard touchdown run. And we pull one back before halftime. Oh, my God. Broken tackle by Scarver, 22 yards. It's been the explosive plays from Utah State that's killing us. We just love the face masks. Just love them. And Tyler untouched. I think that penalty is on the Honey Hunters defense. Utah State goes up 2 scores. Tito Williams, good grab. Almost stays on his feet, but we're into state territory. Go Rich. Nice grab. That was real bad defense from Utah State. Pretty cool. Still not back. I was hoping he'd be out here after the change of quarter. We're going to give it to Pazmore. Again, just doesn't have the same explosiveness that McCool has. That can compensate for the lack of the O-line. Try slant here. I mean, I want to try to get this to Shaq, but it looks like they're going to have 2 guys on his side. We might need to look at Tito Williams on the inside. Way too long to develop. 3rd sack. We are in 4-down territory. 4th down coming up. Might be game if we can't get a play here. I think it's going to have to be just a throw it up and pray that our 7-footer can come down with it. He was kind of open. Better thrown ball there. Put it in his area code. Do or die for the defense. We get off the field here. we might have enough attempts with the offense to try to come back in this game. If they continue this drive, they're going to start chewing the clock, and it's going to be donezo. And we force the punt. Good defense. Stout defense. Tito Williams, make a guy miss. Make him. Oh, he does, but the support from behind. That's good. That's good pursuit by Utah State. Let's go. Jerry Joe Vicious, 6-yard touchdown. Sets up an onside kick. Here we go. Come on, Van Sacca. It was a wobbler, too. I mean, 3 and out. Use our timeouts. Get the ball back. Best case. Hopefully they don't run the ball. Give me a chance. That's all I want is a chance. Put the ball back in Big Bob Podolski's hands. Let Tom Savage scheme something up. And let's force OT. No, there we go. There we go. There we go. 4th and 1. We're getting the ball back. Oh, no. Field goal. They missed their last long one. I would hate for this to be dagger after our defense gets a stop. That's short again. Noodle leg out here. Kind of plays into what our offense, our strengths are. Throw power and speed. Scramble here with Bob. Get the first down. Stop the clock. And he... Yokozuna picks it up. Let's go. Okay, Big Bob. Looks like he's never ran before in his life. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. Show some goddamn speed here, fellas. Get to the line. Oh, my God. Oh! Let's go! 49 yards. Tito Williams. Let's go. Extra point is good. There we go. Who's that? Hightower, potentially. Doesn't mean nothing, but that's a good morale boost. As this goes to overtime. And what has a chance to be our first ESPN Classic. Tails never fails. Let's go, baby. We are going to start with defense. Don't give up nothing. Don't give up nothing. Oh, what a terrible, I mean, what a heads-up play. Picks in back-to-back games. And we are in field goal range to win it with Van Sacca. Already. No fumbles. No bullshit. I never thought I'd get pumped trying to beat Utah State. And I almost feel like this ball can't go in the air. But we've yet to attempt a field goal with Van Sacca. I don't know where his range is at. I think we can get a little bit more yards. Every little bit counts. And we'll get rich. Running hard. Let's try a screen, but we literally just saw Utah State run a screen that got picked off. So I'll throw this in the dirt. It doesn't look good. But it looks decent enough to make this a chip shot with a chance to beat a legitimate school in overtime. 26 yards. Van Sacca. And it is good! And they go to a studio update. The amount of disrespect. We just wanted overtime, and the first thing they cut to is like, let's look at Oklahoma handling business against Arkansas. But that's fine, because wins like this is going to gain respect for what Tom Savage and these athletes are trying to do as Bob Podolski gets player of the game. and we get a win over a non-FCS opponent. I didn't know if that was going to happen this year. But what a performance from this defense. I'm shocked Utah State didn't continue to run the ball. That Tyler guy was averaging 20 yards a carry. What he had to do, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. The pick wasn't great. He battled. He got sacked. It was pressure he hasn't seen before. We couldn't rely on Crease McCool the same way that we have been able to. But he was a little bit more involved as a receiver. Tito Williams, the undeniable athleticism, 118 yards and a touchdown. Joe Vicious with the tud. The defense was not pretty, but we got the turnovers. Ricky Hightower, that was more of a momentum builder. Cordarius Rideout with, fair to say, maybe the biggest play in school history, getting that interception in overtime. What a win. Off of that victory, we get 3 upgrades for our head coach, OC, and DC. And for Tom Savage, I really want to get the kitchen sink. I'm hating this cap at 500. However, starting this week, as you'll see in just 1 second, we are allowed to have recruits visit. I'm going to see if we can get them to visit during this FCS week, because you always want them to visit during a win. So do I want 500 extra points? I think we go with the royal treatment, because we are going to have these guys coming in. I think for the DC, we continue to pump into power and finesse move. For the offensive coordinator, I like this idea to continue with the injury and stamina, because our injuries haven't been too concerning, so I think it's working. We have 4 players ready to visit. We have Daniel Newman. Well, let's get it. I want all these guys FCS, because this might be our last. I mean, we beat Utah State, so I don't want to dog our school too much, but you definitely feel confident that this and our last FCS school should be like our guaranteed win. So let's get as many people there as we possibly can. And we have Newman, who we're in the lead for. Gerald Brooks, who we have a chance to make a lot of ground, especially now he's going to get 500 points. Could help us close the gap there on Syracuse. Lewis Hicks, who might be ready to sign on the dotted line. And Travis Phillips, honestly, is probably the closest one that might benefit the most from visiting this week. And, of course, looking at Travis Phillips, he is likely going to... He could be a quarterback. He could be a DB. And I'm all about a 6'2", 210 DB. And for our final game of the episode against FCS Southeast. And I do think for the next episode, which I hope to have later in the week, my plan is maybe, as long as it's not like ridiculously long, I want to finish year 1. I want to get through this first growing pain year, and then we can get into the offseason. But I feel like this is a good stopping point here to try to get another victory, to make it 3 in a row. And Corso knows that this team means business. Looking at our goals for our visiting prospects, Daniel Newman. It kind of obviously shows you what position they're leaning towards. D lineman. So we need some sacks. Gerald Brooks, DBs. Travis Phillips, DBs. We got you. God, we're getting cooked by FCS East. Come on. Come on. We need TFLs too for the visits. Really need a bendo break right now. FCS Southeast is smoking us. Vlad Gilchrist shoots the gap, gets a TFL, brings him down. Our tackling hasn't been good. Our pass coverage hasn't been good. But if we can find a way here to hold these guys to a field goal, count it as a mulligan. Count it as a hangover from last week's ESPN Classic victory. Here it comes. We're gonna bring Fakir Couch here on the blitz. Look, he slows it down. That is everything you need. BD Wells cleans it up. And we hold them, I believe, to a field goal attempt. They're coming to play. Honestly, could have been a pick there. I mean, nothing. We have nothing. Bring a little blitz here on 3rd and long to open up the second quarter. They got a little bit of a dual threat quarterback. I'm starting to get that vibe. But we can keep him in. We can get him under pressure. Make him play pocket passer. All right, we might not be able to run. We're just burning downs here, running into a wall. 4 rushes, averaging a loss a yard. You know where we should beat them, though? Speed. They do not have the speed that we have. So let's make sure we put that on display. And that's going to be lots of shots downfield. 3rd and 5. We're going to have Jaquiz Shack going across the middle of the field. We're going to have Julius Rich deep. This is an embarrassing performance after the biggest win in history of the school. Like a somewhat legit Utah State who have been good in recent memory. Come on. Come on. Oh, Ricky Tarr, pick that off. Field here, 3rd and 7. Watch the QB to run it. They're going for a slant. They're going for a screen. They're going for something that did not work. B.D. Wells in his grill. Defense doing their job. Come on! We get the ball to start the second half. Well, that's literally the only good news that we have through the first half of play. Oh, let's go. The turnover we needed. Maybe that could spark some points here before the end of the first half. Come on, man. Okay, tight windows. Don't throw them. I guess there's some absolute ball hawks on FCS Southeast. All right, nice run by McCool. Gives us a 3rd and manageable. Honestly, I want to be in 4-down territory. Let's call me Dan Campbell Jr. Let's send Tito Williams deep. Let's send Jams on a slant. Let's make something happen. What? Shaq was wide open. What was that? Fumble. Huge force fumble. I don't know who that would have been. Fakir Couch. That came from that side. Number 3 it is. I think. What a hit. If that can't spark something, I don't know what will. And I'm almost content just to kick a field goal here, so we're tied. Because I feel like we have no confidence in our passing game. If we throw, it's going to be some form of sack and or turnover. That's going to hurt this team. We have to get something out of that forced fumble and recovery. You kind of have to throw it here on 3rd and 11. We got Williams. We got Shaq. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable how bad our team is right now. Punt! Where's the field goal? What is it? 50-yard field goal? Come on. We got this. And Saka drills it. It's no good. Chance to get off the field here. 3rd and 6. We're going to do just that. I almost feel like we got to score like a pick 6 something. I don't know if our offense is going to score here today. Go Shaq. Shaq, attack. 29 yards, 1st and goal. Come on, punch it in. Come on, let's punch it in. Let's get some blocks. Let's follow our blocks. I don't want to say 4-down. Like, are we 4-down territory? I hope he does. I'll go with whatever coach wants. If he wants to kick the field goal, play for overtime, sure. If he wants to go win it, I'm also down for that. Or we just, with Passmore, the backup quarterback, the Taysom Hill of our offense, we get a drive when we need it most. But there's no being excited. I like my team, I guess. Use all of our energy in the last week's victory over Utah State. This game, just no touchdown. Just no touchdown. Just, come on. Well, let's get some sort of pressure here. Okay, Gilchrist tackles and bounce. They're likely going to use their final timeout, I think. We'll go no huddle. A little pressure wide open on the field is... Oh, why are we making this so hard on ourselves? Go for the run. What are they doing? They have a timeout? That is unbelievable. I don't think in all my life of playing NCAA 14, I've lost to an FCS team.
Thank you for attending today's ball game. Please drive home safely.
Off of the back of an ESPN Classic upset over one of the more established schools in the Sun Belt, we lose to a team that's somehow 0-14. That's a classic. Fuck, it is. I need to end this before I go break something. In the worst loss, the best loss followed up by the worst loss. An incredibly humbling experience. That's the Honey Hunters. Thank you guys very much for watching. We're going to come back with a vengeance in the next episode. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes we'll beat the big schools. Other times we'll, honestly, even though it looked close, we got dominated by FCS Southeast. First time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoy. We got to go back to the drawing board, and we got to come out fire the next episode. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, love you, have a good one.